Now, they may be known as the faceless killers of modern warfare, but it seems the U.S. military wants them firmly in the spotlight. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta has announced the creation of the so-called Distinguished Warfare Medal, which will be handed out to joystick-wielding drone pilots who wage war from the battles far from the front line. Earlier in the program here, RT's Irina Galushko explained to me exactly what it takes to get the brand new award.
So you sit in a chair, you have a joystick, and you point, click, and then get an award. Essentially, that's all it takes to get a medal, which is supposed to rank higher than the bronze medal, which is, given out to people who actually perform combat duty. But according to the Pentagon criteria, and I'm going to cite it here, it will be recognizing a single act that directly affects a combat operation, does not involve an act of valor, and warrants an award higher than the bronze medal.
So instead of having to go to the front line and risk the extreme bloody violence there, you can just sit in your recliner with a joystick and maybe a cappuccino, for example, and just wage war from about 8,000 miles away.
Yes, perhaps there's a basic knowledge of the territory somewhere in the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan that's involved. But let's compare it just sitting around, basically just sitting at a base, to doing something like something that was done by Sergeant William Stacy in 2011. He received a bronze medal, a bronze star, which is considered to rank below this medal that we're talking about. Now, what he did was receiving fire along with his squad from 10 or 12 enemy fighters from 5 separate fighting positions. Though outnumbered, Stacy and his squad held back numerous flanking attempts amidst accurate enemy grenades and large caliber fire. He was hailed for unquestionably saving the lives of his Marines. This is a citation from his award citation, and he actually died in combat in January of 2011. So again, this man apparently did a lot less than what a person sitting at an army base and pointing a mouse and clicking on a territory somewhere in the Middle East is going to do. So
you talk about silver stars, bronze stars, which, as you say, have now been outranked. The men awarded with those, they must have been praised for some very heroic deeds. Is that this colonel that you're talking about here? Yes.
Well, the sergeant that is in question was actually doing something on the ground.
Right.
Now, we're talking about drone strikes. We're talking about a very questionable, by a lot of institutions, especially human rights organizations, practice of protecting the United States and the world from terrorism, as the Pentagon and the United States
Irina, aren't drone strikes precision strikes, where they target someone via satellite and via this brilliant camera on the drone? They never hit civilians. They only hit militants, right?
That is the official version, but they had to change that tune, which they have been, and by them I mean the American officials, the Pentagon officials. They stuck by that rhetoric for years, until I think roughly 2006, when they had to acknowledge that yes, indeed, at least at best, half of the people who are being killed by the drone strikes are actually innocent bystanders. In fact, there has been a research done by various universities. There was a study from the New York University School of Law, as well as Stanford University Law School, and they have said that roughly out of those killed, only 2% are actually high importance targets. That is, only 2% of people who are being killed are known terrorists.
So 98%
happen to be whoever it is.
Very, very disturbing numbers, Irina.
The numbers are disturbing, and I'd like to go back and remind you that now people who are doing this and who are basically responsible for it are going to be awarded a medal that is going to rank higher than somebody who actually laid down his life in the line of duty.